Welcome back to another Hobby Outdoors Quick Tip. I'm Steve with Hobby Outdoors, and this is Charles with Christian Deer Hunters Association. And today we're going to be talking about calling turkeys and just switching up your tactics a little bit when you're calling turkeys, because not all of them respond to the same call. They all like different ones, it seems. But what do you got for us, Charles?
Yeah,
I know you had something.
for a bird we're going to talk about today, it's one that I think we worked a couple times previously in the week or 2 weeks earlier, something along those lines. And really what I want to start with is a Bible verse from John 10. Here Jesus talking to the disciples. He says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in by another way, that man is a thief and a robber. But he who enters the door is a shepherd of the sheep. To him the gatekeeper opens. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name, and lead them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. A stranger they will not follow, but they will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers." This figure of speech Jesus used with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. And it continues on. But as far as tying it to going out turkey hunting this one particular property, we've been working it, and this was the second or third time we've been back there.
And this bird you guys have already worked a couple times.
Yep, I think we pulled one out of there earlier that season.
Yep.
And so he maybe was educated a little bit, especially to my calling. I'm basically only mouth call. I usually only use the diaphragm call. And I think he got used to it. I think he noticed it. And we got set up. We took another kid out, and we were trying to get set up. We heard this guy gobbling across the stream, and just would not come in for me. So I was talking to him. Steve was there with videotaping, and so he was kind of focused on the camera. But I was taking the lead again, or as usual, with the calling, and just wasn't working. So that's when Steve stepped in, tried throwing something out there.
Charles has got he's the mouth caller, like we mentioned. I'd like the mouth call. I got pot calls. That's usually what I'm doing is the pot calling, and sometimes box calls. But Charles, that bird wasn't coming in to that mouth call, and he would just sit there. Charles would gobble, or he'd yelp a little bit on the mouth call, and that bird would gobble back. It just wasn't pulling him in. So I decided to, get a little aggressive on one of my pot calls, and I got on the call. I did a few, clucks, and right away, right after that, he gobbled back, and so I, did a few yelps.
You start working in with that,
and sure enough, like that bird, you heard him gobble again. Kept working him a little bit on the pot call, and 5 minutes later, he gobbled again, and just like, man, that bird's coming in.
Yeah.
He
crossed the stream.
Yeah, he jumped
the stream, and then came working his way over, and we just couldn't get a shot because there was just too much brush in the way. But
he hung up 20 yards behind some brush.
Yeah. Where I was using my call, it works most birds. I've had such good success with it, and he hung up at about 60, 70 yards, I'd say.
Yep.
Where he was. We're right on the other side of that creek. But for you, he got within about 10 or 15 yards of the shooter, I think.
Just some real thick brush. He came in. We thought he was going to come right. There's a trail, but he just hooked around that brush. And
maybe he saw something he didn't notice, and I think it was just a few minutes earlier there was a fox that ran right up alongside of us.
Yep.
So maybe he was still in the area and causing some problems. But yeah, it was just it was eye-opening to me how just having a different call. We sounded using basically the same cadence, but that Tom just loved that pot call and what Steve was doing. So
just the tip of the day. I mean, if one call's not working for you, switch calls. I mean, even pot calls, there's so many different surfaces. Diaphragm calls, there's so many different cuts in them, so many different tones to them. Pot calls, the one I just called on, the one he actually came into was this ceramic call I make, but I also got an aluminum call, and it just sounds, it's a little bit higher pitched.
I gotta get me one of those.
Yep. So just a little bit different tone. Slate calls, they're all different. So, even the same call, a turkey might come in, to a slate call as opposed to a ceramic, and vice versa. Mouth calls, box calls, you never know. But don't be afraid to switch up your calling. and get those birds this spring.
Yep. And tying back to John 10,
yep.
It's important. Be in this book. Be in the Word. That's how you can tell a difference, whether it's good advice, bad advice. If it is the Word of God, if it is Jesus talking to you, you'll be able to tell, because if it lines up with this, it's always good advice.
Yep.
So that's all we have for you today. Tune back in. We'll have more tips coming up as we get closer to turkey season, and as well with the Christian Deer Hunters Association. Since we can't do our in-person Big Little Hunting and Fishing Expo, this is the next best thing that we could figure out, and just having the online presence, and now we can still be with you through a camera lens. But good luck this upcoming turkey season, and we'll hopefully have some more videos coming up here soon. God bless.